In this video, we're going to talk about floors. So the first thing we're going to do is create a floor on the bottom level, level 1, and then we're going to create a floor on level 2 as well, and I'm going to show you how to remove a section for if you have a staircase. So the first thing we're going to do is go to level 1, and then up here in our architecture tab we have floor. If you click on the drop down menu, you have a couple options here. We're just going to select architectural for this video. So of course we have our modify tools and we have our draw tools over here. And to make it simple, because this is a rectangle, I can use my rectangle tool. If it was an interesting shape, you could just use your line, you can use your curves and adjust as need be. But I'm going to use my rectangle. I'm going to snap to the outside corner, go down to the other corner, just double check, make sure that the magenta lines are where I want them to be, hit the green check mark, and then I'll jump into my 3D view and see I now have a floor. You can see here 12 inches thick, because in my properties, if I select my floor, I can change it. It is currently at generic 12-inch filled. So that's how you would create like your base floor. For right now, I'm going to delete that because it's going to get in the way. So the next thing is we're going to do the second level floor. So I'm going to go to level 2. Same thing, floor architectural. I'm going to select my rectangle, go from corner to corner, hit the green check mark. So what happens here is you're going to see this window. It says, would you like walls that go up to the floor's level to attach to its bottom? So what it's saying is these walls here that were in my file, if I select yes, those walls are going to now be cut short and end at the bottom of my wall. I mean at the bottom of the floor, because the floor is 12 inches thick. So what's happening right now is the walls and the floor are occupying the same place. So basically your wall is inside of your floor. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to show you both, but I'm going to select yes. So what should occur when I go into my 3D view, now I have my second level floor, if I hover over my wall, I can see that my wall ends at the bottom of the wall, of the floor. So the wall ends at the bottom of the floor. If I Control Z and go back and hit the check mark and select no, if I hover over my wall now, I can see that it's going inside of my wall. There's this extra little bit of blue showing that it's inside of the floor. So in some cases you might want that, but in this case it doesn't make any sense. You don't want a wall inside of your floor. Structurally it's impossible. So I'm going to hit back, hit green check mark, and yes. So now my wall goes up to my floor. So that is much better. So now the next thing is I have a staircase, so I need to create an opening so that way I can actually get to the second floor. I'm going to go to level 2. Actually, I'm going to jump back to 3D view so I can select my floor. Select my floor. Now I'll go to level 2. In order to do this, I'm going to go to edit boundary. So what I can do now is create any shape that I want for the most part, and then it will remove it from the border. So right now is my border. So if you create a shape, so let's say I want to create an opening here for my staircase. I'm going to create it, let's say this large. Make sure it lines up. Okay. So what's going to happen now is, since there's this exterior shape and I created an interior shape, it is going to cut out the second shape, the smaller of the two, because it's within the border. So if I hit green check mark, you'll see what I'm saying. Would you like the walls? Yes. So if I go into my 3D view, I now have an opening in my floor to accommodate my staircase. So when you do this at a boundary, you can manipulate it in multiple ways. You can do curves and fancy shapes if you would like to, but let's say if I create 2 openings, if I select my rectangle, I come over here, I want this as an opening as well, green check mark, yes. Now I have 2 openings. So as long as you create a shape within the exterior shape, it is going to cut out the shape that is inside the exterior. Okay. So basically that is floors. Again, once you select your floor, you can always change it over here in the properties. If you go to edit type, you'll see this pop up. You can change solid fill, you can change a bunch of things. But in most cases you won't want to, but just know that you can, and it's very simple to use. Just be careful, especially when you're doing multiple floors, that when that window pops up asking for if you want the wall to go up to the floor, make sure you choose the one that you actually want. In most cases you will select yes. Okay, but that is floors, found right up here in your architecture, right here.